Today on our show,
we are going to review M. Night Shyamalan's Split.
Split, great film. Check it out right here on Chuckload of Comics. Hello and welcome to Chuckload of Comics. I'm your host Chuck Lindsay.
Shauna Lindsay.
Today we just saw an awesome movie.
Oh, it was so good.
The movie's called Split. It's the latest installment in a long history of really good movies by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, we've waited a little while for this, but I think he needed a break, so no offense, M. Night, but we're glad you took a little break and came back with this amazing movie. The premise is there's these three teenage girls that get kidnapped by this guy that has multiple personalities, and you find that out and get to meet all his different personalities throughout the film as it develops. The character is played by James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, you know him obviously as Professor Charles Xavier from the latest X-Men movies.
Does an amazing job at this role. Amazing job.
Yeah, every time you see him, he's got about 6 or 7 different personalities that he plays, and he owns every single one of these personalities. Every time you see him on the screen, he's a completely different character.
Yep.
And he does so well. He doesn't phone it in. I mean, this is an Oscar-worthy performance by James McAvoy, I think.
He won't get recognized for that, but...
You don't think so?
Let's hope. Fingers crossed.
Shyamalan?
Maybe.
Has he ever been?
I don't know.
Has there ever been a Shyamalan flick that's been nominated for a
maybe Sixth Sense.
major award?
I don't know, but I guess we'll have to look that up later.
Well, anyway, it's great. He's got a personality that is just tough as nails, hardcore guy. He's got one that's a little kid, like a little 9-year-old kid or 7-year-old kid. He's got one that's an older woman, and one that is just this. They call him the Beast, and he's insane. I mean, he climbs up walls. I mean, not too many spoilers. Oh, by the way, this is going to be kind of a spoilery review. So, lots of spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, you may want to
not watch the
change the channel if you don't care about spoilers.
Because, it's going to be spoiler.
But, yeah. And not only is it, before we get into some of the spoilers, which we're going to talk about in just a second, but the cooler part about the flick is because this isn't like your standard kind of... What was the movie? Hostel. Where the whole movie is just you're in the basement and you got the bad guy and the hostage people. This isn't like that because half the movie is him talking to his psychiatrist. Half the movie is the psychiatrist's story.
Right. And showing the audience his personality and his side of the story.
So what's Shyamalan and psychiatrists?
I don't know.
Sixth Sense, psychiatrist. Wasn't there a psychiatrist in Signs?
Well, Village. Didn't he start off as a psychiatrist or
really
a psychologist? Something like that.
But anyway,
that's how he started the town.
He likes him. He likes him. Yeah, you're right. It was like some weird cult thing.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. Yeah. James McAvoy is He's the John Wayne of our generation. He's like he's the Clint Eastwood. He's
Al Pacino, the Robert De Niro. He's our.
If our generation's been waiting on their amazing actor, it could be James McAvoy. Did I say John McAvoy earlier?
No, you said James.
Did I say John McEnroe?
No.
Anyway, so it's an incredible movie, well worth your time. Now on to some of the spoilers. Midway through the movie, McAvoy. He goes into a train station. He goes down to where this train is. Train, hello? You see where I'm getting at with this? He gets some flowers and he places the flowers at this Amtrak train. Amtrak train. Here comes the spoiler. And it's like it's a memorial. Like someone died on a train.
Yep. He's just placing the flowers down.
And he places the flowers down and he steps into this train, and what music starts playing in the background?
But the Unbreakable soundtrack.
Theme to Unbreakable. And if you remember Unbreakable, starring Bruce Willis, it was the one with Mr. Glass where Bruce Willis...
Samuel L. Jackson,
Bruce Willis is Unbreakable. He's the superhero. It's a comic book movie, and it was one of Shyamalan's best flicks. And everybody dies in a train except for Bruce Willis. So apparently... the kid from Split, the main guy played by McAvoy, his father died in that same train wreck.
Very hinted that that's what happened.
That Bruce Willis survived.
Yep.
So that was your first Easter egg. That's when you're like, holy shit, some shit's going on. Shyamalan's doing a tie-in flick. And that's kind of the last they touch on it until the very end of the movie. Here comes some more big spoilers. The very end of the movie's over. Justice has been served.
Yeah, your split personality characters escaped, which they are now dubbing, which you see from a news channel in the diner, like from the television. They're dubbing him the Horde.
Horde, that's going to be his name. So they're searching for him, and they've already showed the movie's over, and they cut to this diner scene where the camera's panning around and the news is on the TV, and they're talking about the Horde. They're talking about this crazy psycho killer calling himself the Horde, and then you hear this conversation by these two other people at the diner talking about, well, this kind of reminds me of that that one guy who killed all those people, who was in the wheelchair and he had the broken legs, killed all those people on the train. What was his name? And they can't figure out his name, and they pan across the counter
further down
of the diner, and they show who's sitting at the table at the diner, but Bruce Willis. Wearing his work shirt, says Dunn. That was his name. He is
in Unbreakable.
That was the Unbreakable guy. So Bruce Willis is back, and he says his name was Mr. Glass. So bam, huge Unbreakable tie-in. What does that mean? That means Unbreakable 2 is coming. It's coming soon.
Thank you, M. Night.
So thank you, M. Night Shyamalan. Because if there was ever a movie that required a sequel, more so than Empire Strikes Back, is fucking Unbreakable. Needed a sequel.
Yep.
So, point is, go see Split and get excited because Unbreakable 2 is on its way.
Yes, and even if you haven't seen Unbreakable, well, first of all, go see Unbreakable. Second of all, the critics are really giving this movie praise, and they don't mention Unbreakable, so maybe they're...
Yeah. Go see it just for the performance by James McAvoy. But
also see Unbreakable.
And see Unbreakable again. It's a good movie anyway. So, anyway, that's our movie review for Split. I'm Chuck Lindsay.
I'm Shauna Lindsay.
Thanks for watching Chuckload of Comics. Thanks for subscribing. And if you haven't, please subscribe.
Please.
Thank you. Good night.